Hello to everyone, this is Vishal and we have another session, but that is not related to the ongoing topic. We are working with the Kotlin and we are working with the TDD. Actually, this is a single tutorial in which we discussed how we can upload, or we can say the push and pull the VCS versions on the GitHub. So that's a discussion of the GIT. Because of many users want to do this kind of stuffs from my side, so I just create a small video on that so you can learn that how you can work with the repositories. So it's very good and interesting how you can do that just for practice. So first we discuss about the version controls and GIT. So the GIT is a distributed revisions controls and the source code management system with an emphasis on speed. So that means we need that kind of repository where we can use our or check our versions if we work with on um that environment in which on the single project we have used many users working on that or many software developers working on that. So that's the scenario of the VCS. And the version controls, that means it allows you to track the history of the collections of the files, and it supports creating different versions of the collection. So each version captures a snapshot of the file at a certain point in time, and the VCS allows you to switch between these versions. So you can check this kind of theory from anywhere. I just explain the things what is exactly. So whenever you work with the VCS, so that is called your version control system. That means once you create a project, so that is your first version of that creating the project. And if you want to do something with the changes on that, and if many users or we can say a developer team working on, so that means it is and we have a multiple clones of that. And if I want to share this clone and upload these things and changes on that, so that is the work. Means some working on the UI and some working on the classes, or some working on the data layers, maybe on the back repositories kind of things. So these kind of stuffs, whenever you work with the VCS, you just integrate on the single environment and use it on your further controllings. That means your further versions controls. So that's the scenario. And as you see on my screen, that is the repository, and here we have a version, and here we have a two files on the first time. But on the second I have added something new and I want to do something with that, and I created the version 2 for that. So you can implement multiple versions of that repository. Okay. And initially we have a single branch that is called the head branch of the version. So here you can say that we have very good functionality of the functions of the VCS system, that it allows developer to work simultaneously, and does not allows overwriting each other's changes. And whenever you've done the work, and that means you have to commit that, and you say that yeah, it is committed by yourself, so we can check that on which date it had it has updated or works on that. So that's simple in scenario. And you can maintain a history of each and every version. So if you want to the old versions, you can download and work on that again. So here we have a two kind of systems, we can say, that is called here CVCS and DVCS. So CVCS we do not work on that because of that is the wrong thing. That means if your center repository be failure, if your system be shut down, so that means it is a issues, backup issues be there. So we are working with the distributed or decentralized version control system, DVCS. So as you're working with the GitHub, and there you're working with multiple versions you create on that, so that's the good repositories, and you can um, download the clones from their site. So that's the way you have to work with DVCS. As you work, I mean, whenever you work with the networking, you have heard about there are centralized and decentralized systems. So the same thing, same approach, we are working with that. So DVCS's clients not only check out latest snapshot of the directory, but they're also fully mirror the repository. Snapshot, that means whenever you work, I will describe you practically. So whenever you work with that and you can push it, so that means you have to commit, and that's the snapshot for the doing work. So I will show you practically today how we can push the projects, how can pull the projects, and how we can uh, do the branches work and tag. So these all stuffs we have to work, and so you can use it and work on with the with this systems VCS. So let us start it in Android Studio. Okay, so let start it be here. We're just taking a project. There's a small project, and I want to upload or push it on the GitHub so everybody can download it and just test on the things. So I will show you how you can work. Just like I create a clone of this, and we'll show you how we can create all this stuffs. So first, we have a simple projects, and whenever we work with the VCS, you just go for enable version control integration. That is an important, because of whenever you work with a team, you just go and say this is and you have to work with at this time the GIT. So that means it's your GIT. So it showed you all the classes become red. That means it connected with GIT. And now we have to go for the VCS and say at this time I want to share this project on the GitHub. So you just say share project on the GitHub, and here it all automatically create your repository. Either you want to make a private or the public. So I will pick it up public at this time, and if you go for the description you can do, otherwise no issue. And if you have connected with the GitHub, so that's good, otherwise it won't log in to you. So at this time I'm giving the same name. This is the Vishal GitHub test project, and share. And it show you that all ticks be fine. I want to put all stuffs be there. That means gradles and everything. So it depends how much classes you want to, because of we are working with the complete project. So we commit it, and I'm committed means as a team leader I just committed, and so can my team can work on that. So this is the initial commit by Vishal. So this is the head branch, and it say that we have to add it. Yes, we have to add it, VCS XML. So that means whenever we do the changes here, it be on the GitHubs also. I will show you how we can push the things. So you can see that all become a black, so that means it be there. So we can say that let's check it. This is my GitHub, and see all the repository. So whenever you work with the things, it automatically on the top. So wherever your top repository, that is the latest repository, be here. So you can see your project be here. Initial commit by Vishal. Okay, so you can download and this and work on that. I will describe you how you can pull the values or a project be here. So this is the way you can commit and upload the things. But if I say if I am doing with, that means I will describe you what is the tag and what is the branches. So I'm doing any changes without a branch at this time, and I will show you how we can push it, simple push it. So here I am creating a Java file, and that's name be our data repository. So it's good. I already described you whenever you work with the layers. So it's an important when you working with the layers here. So that means complete team working with the data layers and push it on the GitHub and working on that, and likewise. And then we integrate the all things be here, just like your UI, your everything. So here we have a data repository, and we can say this is a public string and data string value. I'm just making a simple method here, and so can we return something. This is repo and just simple, and I want to uh, push these things be here on the GitHub. So you can just say we have a commit file because of we have done some changes here. So this this is done by Vishal. So that means on the date it can push it that we have worked on the data repository, and I have pushed this class be there so we can commit it. So this is the way you can commit, and you can go for the GIT again and just say the push. So whenever you work with a class and on a single you are working, so you can do these things, but it's good you work with the branches. I will describe you how the branches work, but here you can see that and refresh that your application be with the source, with the main. So you can see that data repository on 36 seconds ago, and this is done by Vishal. This is initial commit and this is done by Vishal. So that means whenever you work with this, it already uploaded and working on that. So this is a master branch. So that's a working with this kind of project. Now I will show you how we can pull the project, and then we discuss about the branch and we discuss about the tag. So let's start it with the pull again. So for this I want to close this project and I want to load any project that is on the GitHub, because of it's already be here. So I want that project which is on from my other system, that means from the window I will upload, and then I will download it or pull it from this. So you can see how we can do that from the other repository. Okay, so here I created a any test window app that is from my window Android Studio, and just I want to commit it as in the first Vishal on window, and I want to just met that is a team leader and who work with this and just uploaded the head branch, and you have to work on that. So how you can make a clone on that? So you can see the first, second, third is your checkout project from our version control. So you can go for the GIT and just simply copy this path and say clone. So that means it can create your a complete project if Gradle B, that means update, or that means the versions you're working with the same Gradle. Okay, so if it is a less or likewise that, or sometimes it create an ID issue. You can see on the Stack Overflow many times it works wrong, people doing. So that means you whenever you work with, you just check your Gradle versions with them. Otherwise it should say to you that there's an error with the Gradles. Okay, so you can see that it's working perfect, and your project of the window be here also. So that means as in a clone you have worked, that means you are a team member and you're working with this. Now what happened that what's we doing wrong sometimes? See, that is the head, and whenever you work with this you can create a Java class and say this is my data repository. So whenever you work with the data repository, you add that file, and whenever you work with this, add any methods, you work with the data repositories and likewise that. And now you can see that this is the VCS, and your commit, and you commit that this is done by Vishal on Mac. So here that means two hands be working, just like multiple clones be there. You can download on a multiple systems and work on that, create a multiple cloning. So I showed you what's the drawback sometimes. So when you push it, it push, and you can see the results on your GitHub. So that means it showed to you and it updated there. Yes, so it showed to you and refresh it. You can see that there is a two commits. That means this is done by Vishal on Mac, and before that it is be on window. So that means you have to create a clone, and here it's say that 37 seconds ago. So here, and 10 minutes ago I created the window project. So all this stuffs be like this, it countable. But sometimes wrong thing is that is the head branch, that is the main branch whenever you work. And if you have done some changes, and anybody can be doing something wrong with that, so that means you are working with the main branch. So don't do like this. You have to create more branch and then check that if it is perfect, then you add it on the head branch, or you can say on the master branch. So how you can do that? If you are that means if you are we can say experience holder, and you can do that directly with that, but otherwise it's good whenever you work with the branches, it's good. So for this, what you have to do, you just go for the VCS GIT, and you can go for the branches, and I want to create a new branch, and I want to make a new branch just like uh, room branch. I can say that I give the name, this branch name, anything, just for change. So here I make a room repository and add this file, and here you can add your methods, whatever be. And now you have to go for the GIT, and I want to commit this file. This is for the room branch. So here I have done some changes with the room branch, and again we go for the VCS GIT and push it. And once I push it, the changes will be on your GitHub. You can see that. So on the other side, on the cloning side, that means you can pull that request. So it's easy. You can just simply, if anybody doing changes and that changes be perfect, so here we have option for the pull. I will show you on the next phase. So here it is a pushing, that means it pushed the request there, push successful. So here you can see it create a two branches here, and it say that yeah, compare and pull request. So your team leader, we check that everything is right. So it's checking that package, this is yeah, that is perfect. And if you want to add something on that, if you want to changes on that, he can do that and just say yeah, that's fine, and whatever we commit by Vishal or whatever be. Okay, so that means you create your pull request be here, and then it say, do you want to merge pull request? Yes, I say confirm merge. So that means it added to the main branch, and your four commits be there, and it added to the main branch. So can anybody who work with that, it create a clone or the room repository. So you can see that it working with the main branch. So that means you merge that branch after checking the issues. So that's easy. So that's the way whenever you work with the branches, it's be a very good working there. So one thing I also showed to you that on the same projects I'm doing some changes from my window, and then on a window side how I can pull that new file because of its working be here. So I'm just checking with the one more repository I will create and pull that request be here. Okay, so here I have done some changes from window for the list view, that is on 9 minutes ago, and that is everything is fine, and this one is working, and I want to pull this because of this is not on my Android Studio. So how you can that, you can update the project, you can or you can just for the GIT and you go for the pull, but you have to check that which pull you want. from the room branch or from the origin. So I want to go for the origin master. So I'm just pulling that and check it works or not. So it changes the origin. So you can say that here the list view repository be here, and now you can work on whatever you do changes, you just commit it and just simply work on. So this is called your push, pull and branches. Okay, so let's discuss about a tag. So tag is, that means nothing, is just here whenever you work with your new versions, you have to show or build a tag. Just like you can say, if you go for the your VCS and on the GIT, you create a branch that is called your a new branch. I'm just saying the tag branch, and in which I have done some changes like new Java class branch tag and add it, and whatever be the things it's going on be here. And you can say that VCS and the GIT, and I have to create the tag, and that is called our version, and I say it is a version 2.0. it's working on that. And for the tag branch, so it's a create tag versions 2.0 successfully. And whenever you work with your GIT and on the commit, you say that yeah, this is done for the new changes or a tag, whatever you want to commit, you can just put it and just say yes. And you have to push this, so that means you have to go for the GIT and you have to push that request there. But push tags, click on the push tags all, so that means your tag be pushing for the new version there. So that's the way you can work with your tagging systems also. And you can see that when you work with the Github, you refresh it and you can say that there is a tag branch, you can compare, and you can work with the create pull request, the same thing as we have done. That means this is new changes on that. We have done a lot of things with this, our merges, our confirm merge, everything is fine, going fine with the, it just be just test for practice for you. So everything is going good. So you can see that we have a final branch be there, and you can see there is a two releases. So that is a version 1 and version 2. So the old version was this and new version was this. So you can work with like this, you can make your versions, your tagging. So this is a way you can do this approach of GitHub. Okay, so you just practice on this, and if you have any issues, you discuss to me. And one more thing, if you don't have a GIT on your, so you can first install for the Windows and the Mac different. Okay, so you have to install, and rest of the process as I showed you in the video, sorry, so you can work on that. Okay, so you just start your basic practice, then lot of things we have to work with the your tag names or likewise that, so we can work on that and upload more things on the how we can use the things on the taggings, and likewise that on my second session I will describe you more about this and more about theory of the tags like that. But you have to work with the simple story of the branches, and whatever we have worked with the activity repository are very simple. You can see that all the dates be here, committed dates be here, your branch create dates be here, you can see your branches. So this all the stuffs you have worked with. So you can create a multiple clones and working with the team like that. So thank you so much for the day.